The largely anticipated visit to North Korea by U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo ended, of course, with no concrete results. Pompeo emphasized the success of his visit to North Korea, stating that the talks had made progress and that a working-level group would be formed to push ahead with negotiations for denuclearization. On the other hand, the North Korean Foreign Ministry openly criticized the visit, stating that it pushed current U.S.-North Korea relations to a dangerous brink in which North Korea may even change its mind on denuclearization. We can see that Kim Jong-un, who made a brisk visit to meet President Moon at Panmunjom and sent Kim Yong-chol to Washington to beg for the summit in the midst of Trump's sudden cancellation, has now finally caught his breath and is feeling a bit more relaxed. With the support of an allied army in China and the initial success of both the inter-Korean and U.S.-North Korea summit, Kim Jong-un has bought a bit of time and can sit comfortably for a while. The upside to all this is that through the North Korean Foreign Ministry's discourse, we are able to see North Korea's position on the phased and simultaneous steps of denuclearization. North Korea's demand is that, according to the outcome of the U.S.-North Korea agreement, in which North Korea insists on regime stability first, then denuclearization, the U.S. should agree to an announcement of the end of the Korean War in return for the destruction of ICBM engine test sites. In other words, North Korea's argument is that a detailed denuclearization process can only be discussed together with the reduction of sanctions and establishment of peace structures after the announcement of the end of the war. Additionally, North Korea considers the repatriation of the remains of U.S. soldiers killed in the Korean War as a service to pave the way for the announcement of the end of the war. This is far from how the U.S. sees it. As the U.S. has already temporarily suspended the joint military exercises, the announcement of the end of the war can only be possible when North Korea begins a more concrete denuclearization process, such as reporting the location of nuclear facilities and amount of nuclear material. I suspect that North Korea is trying to make the implementation of denuclearization as complex as possible so that it is able to get what it needs at every level until it reaches the final stages of denuclearization, where it will decide to bail. The fundamental difference between the U.S. and North Korea on denuclearization that had until now been covered by a veil has now been uncovered. North Korea's foreign ministry emphasized that the main spirit of the U.S.-North Korea summit was a trust building, and that SeriesㅅThe by the U.S. is a gangster-like demand. This shows once again the importance of every word and arrangement of sentences in agreements signed by the heads of state, and how much it influences the detailed steps in the implementation process. Teams of experts are always involved in the preparation of North Korea's statements before it is presented to Kim Jong-un to be approved. This is how important each word and sentences is in a North Korean piece of text. Not only did the Trump-Kim summit fail to draw a roadmap for North Korea's denuclearization process, but it surrendered the U.S. policy of denuclearization process first, then dialogue, and codified trust building first, then denuclearization. As such, North Korea will bring out this agreement whenever it has future negotiations and put the United States in the corner, and it won't be easy for the U.S. to grab hold of the reins again at the negotiation table. However, the U.S. still has a powerful negotiation card: sanctions. At this moment in time, Kim Jong-un is working hard to announce the declaration of the end of the war with the U.S. and have the sanctions lifted before September 9th, the 70th anniversary of the foundation of North Korea, to show the North Korean people that he is an almighty leader who can make the impossible possible. Thus, Kim Jong-un will push to keep the current momentum of dialogue with the U.S. While the statement from the Foreign Ministry may criticize Pompeo, the spokesman's ending stating that we still cherish our good faith in President Trump clearly shows Kim Jong-un's uneasiness of Trump's unpredictability that may lead to a break in the negotiations. As such, it is incredibly important how the U.S. goes forward with its tactics. Right now, neither the U.S. nor South Korea have publicly announced the details of North Korea's denuclearization process. South Korea has stated that it is using the improvement of inter-Korean relations as an incentive for denuclearization, while the U.S. it simply has an ambiguous plan of using the sanctions card if things do not go their way. The U.S. and South Korea must now give a clear response to the North Korea's Foreign Ministry's statement of claiming that the U.S. made gangster-like demands. The U.S. and South Korea should clarify a detailed plan to trade the demand of an announcement of the end of the war and make it clear that if such an offer by U.S. and South Korea is not met, not only will the declaration plan be scrapped, but the sanctions will also remain. The U.S. should not show its uneasiness about trying to achieve something with North Korea before its midterm elections in November. There's a saying in Korean that the thirsty man will dig the well first. It has been the essence of North Korea's diplomacy that it returns to the dialogue table when it is pushed in corner and leaves the table when it is relieved from difficulty. South Korea should not leave the issue of denuclearization to the U.S., but avail itself of every opportunity to demand the denuclearization whenever it engages in North Korea.